welcome to Writing Instruction Day 4. We're going to start out by talking about the steps in the writing process. Step 1, as we all know, is to attack the prompt. We have to figure out if we're writing an informative essay or if we are writing an opinion essay. Step number 2, read your articles. Now that you have attacked the prompt, you have to read your articles and form your thesis statement. Remember, again, the thesis statement should be a compound sentence. It should contain 2 points, or another word for point is 2 reasons why you have the opinion that you have about your topic. Which brings us to step number 3. And step 3 is all about the planning process. So, in planning from the top, okay, once you have formed your thesis, now you can start over at the top. The thesis statement is the only thing that we plan out of order. So beginning from the top, the first thing you have is your hook sentence, your hook statement, which should have either been in the form of a question or it should have showed excitement. The next step is to include 2 or 3 details of background information to give your reader background about your topic. Finally, you can add the thesis that you already created after you read the articles to your writing plan, and you have planned your introduction. So the question is, what is the next thing on your planning document that you need to do? And that would be body paragraph number 1. Now that we've both completed our planning, our introductions, we have to go ahead and move on to the next step, which is your body paragraphs. Remember, my articles were about bike sharing programs. Your articles were about snakes. So, how do I know what to write about, or how do we know what we're going to write about in body paragraph number 1? Remember, body paragraph number 1 should be all about the first point or the first reason in your thesis. So let's look at this. My articles I had, which were about bike sharing programs, I had my topic sentence, I planned out my background, I did my thesis. So now I need to look at the first point or the first reason you see here in green. The reason I had the opinion I had. I said, in my opinion, bike sharing programs are a great idea. So my first reason or my first point for feeling that way is because the author said that they were really helpful. Now, I'm going to model for you how to plan out body paragraph number 1. This is my modeling for my articles that I read. So you are not to write what I'm writing. You're using my modeling as an example to help show you how to do when you get to writing and planning your body paragraph for your snake articles. Now, in order for me to complete planning on my first body paragraph, I need to remind myself of what my thesis was. Again, my thesis statement says, in my opinion, bike sharing programs are a great idea for neighborhoods because they are helpful and they bring positive changes. My first reason why I have that opinion are a great idea, the first reason is what my first body paragraph should be all about. That they are helpful. Now, I have to use the first point or reason in my thesis to help me write a topic sentence for body paragraph number 1. Again, just to remind you, my first reason, the reason I have the opinion I have that they're a great idea is because I read that they were helpful. That's my first reason. Now, I'm going to write my topic sentence using this first point, but I have to be sure to mention the name of the article that I actually got this information from. Here's my topic sentence. As I was reading the article Bikes to Borrow, I realized that they were helpful. And so this was the first point in my thesis. So I have to, in order to form a topic sentence for body paragraph number 1, I have to use that reason in my topic sentence. That way I let my reader know exactly what my body paragraph number 1 will be all about. So my topic sentence says, in the article, Bikes to Borrow, the author explains how helpful these programs are for people. I did 2 things here. The first thing is I mentioned the name of the article where I actually got the first point for my thesis from. And then I actually included the first reason from my thesis in my topic sentence for body paragraph number 1. So that's how I came up with my topic sentence. Now, that means my planning should look like this so far, right? Remember, already planned out the introduction. Now I formed a topic sentence for body paragraph number 1 using the first point in my thesis. I'm actually not done, because now I have to come up with too many topics to focus my writing on as I begin to write body paragraph number 1. As I read the first article, I realized that the author was showing me 2 major ways that bike sharing programs have been really helpful for people. One way he showed this was by talking about how convenient they were for people who didn't have cars. Convenient, that word convenient means it makes it a little bit easier for them. It's helpful. The other way he showed this was by talking about how affordable they were for people who didn't have cars. Cars are extremely expensive, and bike sharing programs are not. So the author talked a lot about how they were cost-effective or affordable for people. I think those are the 2 many points that I'm going to focus on. So those are going to be my point A and my point B. Now this just means that those are the 2 things I'm going to focus on talking about in body paragraph number 1. And they all tie in together, because something that is convenient and affordable is indeed helpful to people. So now I've come up with my point A and my point B. This is what my writing plan should look like so far. I've now completed planning for body paragraph number 1, and I have my point A, which is that those programs are convenient. My point B, I'm going to talk about how they are affordable. Now it's your turn. Today your assignment is simple. You have to use what you learned in the video today to write your topic sentence for body paragraph number 1. Remember, you have to include the name of the article that you're using or that you used to form the first point or reason in your thesis. Remember, again, your articles are about snakes, not bike sharing programs. So you should not write what I wrote. So, created your introduction. Now you have to form your topic sentence for body paragraph number 1. And once you've done that, you have to go ahead and come up with 2 mini topics, a point A and a point B, to focus on as you write body paragraph number 1, just like I did. And it's easy. You're just looking for 2 things the author talks about that ties into the very first point or the very first reason in your thesis, the reason why you felt the way you felt, why you had the opinion that you had. When you are done, please go ahead and submit your work online. So what you are submitting to me today is a topic sentence for body paragraph number 1 from your snake articles. And then you're going to submit a point A and a point B. Remember, my point A and my point B connected to the first point in my thesis. So if you made whatever your first point in your thesis was. Your point A and your point B should tie back into that first point. Once you do that, go ahead and turn that in to me. I'll get it checked, and I will send you feedback so that we can move on to the next step in our writing plan. Happy writing!